What's going on, guys? This is Kaisho, welcome back. So we are back with another video. So in this video we're going to cover OCG Metagame Report and deck list reviews. From the past week, we do have the last week of December and also the first week of January 1st to up to today, January 6th. So we're going to cover post-ban list of the January limit regulation for 2025, and we are going to discuss the topping results in C regions, namely the Philippines, Taiwan, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia. So we are going to cover post QCTB quarter century Trinity box. And without further ado, let's start. So first we do have Akard weekly tournament in Indonesia. First would be Irdhan with Sword Soul Ryuge. So with Sword Soul Ryuge, you're able to dish out your standard Sword Soul line with the help of the Ryuge dishing out Floodgate, Macrocosmos, or Shenshen live Macrocosmos on your board. So you have anti-graveyard set up on your field, and it doesn't stop from that. This player is playing Necro Valley, so he really hates the graveyard. But the flip side is you're going to lose so many slots on the main deck for your hand traps. So you're probably going to settle for more gas and also rely on your going first turnout. Next would be Adam with Orcus. So look at this deck list. It just looks very beautiful. Hand traps, staples, extenders with your other starters, no? So this is how a good mid-range deck would look like in 2025. You just played plethora of hand traps, Droll, Nibiru, Follows, and you have like very desirable going first on this Orcus, newly supported Orcus from QCTV. So looking on the metagame, Orcus has been phenomenal. Probably the second best deck, just behind Blue Eyes Primite, no? So the support from the QCTV was very massive. And next you do have Naufal, Millennium, Exodia. So this is like one of the best rogue control decks out there. And probably once it go first, it's really hard with the Fusion Exodia sitting on their board and establishing negates, interruptions, and also floodgates like the anti-spell and TC Buno. So it's very hard once this deck goes first, and there's also a chance that they could complete the 5 parts of Exodia. It's just ridiculous. And next would be Ray, Tenpai Dragon, 1 Regek in the main deck, 1 Monster Reborn. Pretty odd inclusions, but it worked for him. And moving on next, we do have Timok tournament in Indonesia. First would be Blue Eyes Primite. So it played Cold by and Cross Out in Japanese regions and also Taiwan, South Korea, even China. They don't really fancy playing the Cold by and Cross Out anymore on this type of field, and probably they're just going to play more hand traps at this point, or some forms of floodgate like Samu Limit, Skill Drain on the main deck. So you could probably see some variations of Southeast Asian preferences on playing Cold by and Cross Out on this Blue Eyes Primite. And next would be Gimmick Puppet. Oh my god. I am not really sure why Konami haven't addressed the Gimmick Puppet FTK lock and those crazy shenanigans. It is very unhealthy, and you don't really want to experience the gimmick of Gimmick Puppet instantly winning games once you don't have the proper hand trap. You just win by FTK, so it's really horrendous. And next would be Labyrinth. So Labyrinth looking very solid right now, and also this list very deviates from the standard Labyrinth of Japan, where they don't play the furniture cards anymore. They just play the standard lady with the areas, no, and more traps like punishment and torrential tribute and floodgates like skill drain, no. So yeah, it is very weird for me to see the furniture cards on Labyrinth because I am so used up on seeing Labyrinth without those for 3 4 weeks already, or even on the last format. And next would be Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes Finsbit Azamina still lives on. I don't think this deck is dead at all. It's still very okay. And also, it is more powerful with the White Forest cards on the main deck. And moving on next, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame Malang. First would be Champion 10 by Dragon. Pretty standard. Yeah. Just played hand traps and Fualos, Purulya. You just basically need those cards to draw as many as you can. And next would be runner-up. Uh, Melodious Z-Arc. Yeah. Melodious Z-Arc. So just played 2 Dragon Shine. Oh, 3 Dragon Shine. I think that has been the debate for this type of deck. Whether you play 2 Dragon Shine or 3, it just basically depends on the pilot. But for me, I would want to play it at 2 so that you can make the deck 40. I think the deck list looks very beautiful and very functional. And moving on next, we do have third place, White Forest, Azamina. So probably one of the top tier decks moving towards our January format. The deck has so much gas, so much interruptions once it goes first and went full board, no? With Baroni de Fleur and the Omni Negates of Azamina and likes of Little Knight, no? So it is really scary. Once it go first, there's not many decks that could penetrate with this kind of board. Fourth place would be Speedroid. Oh my goodness. Speedroid in 2025. That's just crazy. Speedroid got support, if I'm not mistaken, from the previous 2 sets ago. I'm not really sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am kind of sure that Speedroid got some form of support. And combo deck nowadays can be punished too hard with Flawless. So it takes a lot of balls to play Speedroid on early 2025. Next, moving on, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Community Zambales Tournament. Side event of their year-end tournament, first would be Martin Alcantara Gem Knights. Of course, Gem Knights really solid with their support from Suda. They have been one of the perennial Kirby, Kirsi decks. They could always be represented on every metagame charts, on every regions in Japan, and even on the minor regions in Asia. No? Next would be Julio Zapata, Plant, Sanavalan Rica. So, this is, I'm not really sure if it is 40. I think it is 45, 44, or 43 on the main deck, and also played Trion package on this. And yeah, it still played Nibiru and Falls on the main deck, even though the deck was pretty stuffy or cluggy on the plant cards. And next would be Benson, Shaori Primate Blue Eyes. So yeah, it played the Blue Eyes Fusion, Ultimate Fusion, and yeah, I played Cold by and Cross Out, no? So yeah, I think it is very debatable to see that. I'm not really sure whether that's the correct way to deck build the Blue Eyes Primate with Cold by and Cross Out. Maybe it just depends on the pilot whether they would want to play around the hand traps of your opponent or just basically establish some form of floodgate, or even the likes of talent would do also a lot of good things for you. And next would be, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Manada Community Weekly Tournament. First would be Blue Eyes Primate, once again, very accomplished deck in this point of January format. I think the Blue Eyes Primate is looking to be the best deck in this January. And next would be, what even is this? Mali 60, yeah. So, with one Allure, one Gold Sark, you lost some huge cards on Mali 60. But it is still workable with Grass, Small World, all of those stuff. It could work. Yeah, I think it could work. And you also have the Bestials, of course, to extend your plays. Next would be Blue Eyes Primate once again. So this has been the more standard way of playing Blue Eyes Primate right now. No cold buy, no cross out. You just play the more hand traps, Nibiru, Veiler on the main deck, even Ogre, and you just play Prosperity and the Dominus Purge as well, no? And on the side deck, wow, it is playing Koikimeru Drago and Santa Claus. Yeah, I really cooked with this deck build. And next would be for Kenny Memento. 3 talent on the main deck, wow. Quite ambiguous numbers of talent. He didn't even play the Fualas on the main deck. and just played 3 talents. And moving on next, we do have Dueling Nexus in Malaysia. First would be Chihim Malis, yeah. Malis. Standard, yeah, pretty standard. It played Deck Lockdown, if I am not seeing things mistakenly. Wow, that is crazy. Or Malis. Next would be Small. What even is this name? I think it was trolled. So he played Pendulum Magician. So yeah, it played a lot of hand traps on the main deck. One Lansea, one Ibiru, one Droll, and even Red Reboot, no? Wow. I cannot really get over with the name on this player. This is really funny. And moving on next, we do have Onglai, Tenpai Dragon, 2 Bestials on the main deck, with 1 Magnamut and 1 Druid Swarm. Probably a preemptive way to counter the Orcus. Next would be Malice, with 1 Signet Mining on the main deck. Either you play 1 or 3. I rarely see players running 2. They just want to play 1 or 3 at most cases. And moving on next, we do have Dueling Nexus once again tournament. First would be Wenful. Heroes, of course, newly supported heroes, and very cheap as well. But hold on, wow. He's playing the OG Avian and Lady Elemental Burstinarix. Oh my goodness. What even is this? Yeah, this is crazy. Wow. This is immense. This is the first time that I've seen Hero playing these two. Oh my goodness. What the freak is this? Next would be Voices Voice from Kyong. Pretty standard. He respected the gaining traction of Droll in the main deck and even Ogre now. So he played Coldby on it. Next would be Bang Chimera. So of course Chimera still solid with Finsmith. But this is not even playing Finsmith. Oh my goodness. This is not playing Finsmith. Wow. And next would be once again this player once again. Oh my goodness. I am convinced that the admin of this page is trolling his name. Yeah, it is playing Ashen. Yeah, Ashen, if I'm not mistaken. Ashen with Lava Golem in the main deck. Going second deck. Yeah, with evenly Forbidden Droplet and Trust. Moving on next, we do have EVO Community Tournament. First would be, of course, Runic. There will be not a tournament report without Runic. It just happens. It's just basically there. No matter what happens, Runic is always there. And next would be Labyrinth. So just played Sama Limit and Rivalry on the main deck. Wow. Didn't have to play Skill Drain now. So he wants to utilize the Lady. And next would be Malice with 2 Signet Mining. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it that I have seen 2 Signet Mining on Malice right now. It is always 1 or 3, but never 2. But I guess I was wrong. This player is playing 2. And fourth would be White Forest Azumina. Played Sprint, no? I think Sprint is just so brokenly devastating on this build. And 3 Cosmic Cyclone, oh my goodness. He really respects the back row. We don't really see that in uh, 2 months already, 3, I believe. I think Cosmic Cyclone has been fallen out of favor for a very large period of time already. Next would be KGS Card Shop Tournament. First would be, oh, Ryzil. So Ryzil with Sharks and the Spirit Engine, it is probably the way to play Ryzil right now because you lost some heavy cards on your deck. You lost 1 Tachyon and 2 X, no? So you would compensate for it and pay it with playing more non-engine extenders. And moving on next, we do have Oasis Cirebon Tournament. First would be Snake Eyes, Farking, yeah. 2 Small World on the main deck. No Bonfire, oh my goodness. No Bonfire? Yeah, no Bonfire. Wow, this is massive. And next would be Finsmith Primite. Played 2 Gamma on the side deck and played 2 Royal Decree. Oh my goodness. I am not really sure about this Royal Decree, but he is going crazy with his side deck pattern. Next would be Gaga with Orcus and played a bunch of Bestials and also Azamina as well, no? So he really wants to utilize Defense Smith and Azamina all together on this Orcus build. Next would be EV Dragon Maid with Tenpai targets. Moving on next, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming. First would be Scareclaw Horus. Visa's good stuff technically from Alfred. He could probably play this deck even he is sleeping, his eyes are closed. He's just so good on this deck and he's won so many tournaments already in their locals in Mindanao, in Davao, and online tournaments as well. So he's really accomplished on this build. So whatever he is putting on this deck recipe, it is probably correct, and I cannot really question it because he probably knows this deck to the depths of the Visa's lore. And next would be White Forest Azumina toy box. Pretty stuffy, no? Considering that you're already playing the Zamina, you're also playing the toy box. So in turn, you have lost so many rooms for non-engines and staples on this build. Moving on next with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Talangong Yuto tournament in Indonesia. First would be Horustan. Oh my goodness, Vanity's Fiend and Majesty's Fiend. What the freak. Once it go first and they have drawn those cards, it is game over, to be honest. If you don't have Imperm Droplet, for example, no, you would probably lose. Very bad against this deck. And next would be runner-up. Rescue Ace Winsmith. Oh, I am really convinced that Rescue Ace is not a tier deck right now. Even though people are still playing Rescue Ace, I think it just falls behind really bad against the counterparts of other Finsmith Azamina decks now. And even the Snake Eyes as a deck. It has been more rigid on playing Rescue Ace because you have a lot of bricks. Turbulence is a brick, the traps are brick, almost half of your archetype are bricks. So there's a less favor on playing Rescue Ace rather than just picking up the White Forest, for example, Snake Eyes, no? People would more inclined towards playing those more consistent decks and much more spacious main deck. Third would be Orcus Horus. So, yeah, another way to play Orcus. Oh my goodness, it decked one Shayren on the main deck. Just the mill cards, no? Yeah, insane. And fourth would be Ryzil. So, Ryzil with Nutmeg engine. With the Nabla, Circular, and the Super Factorial package on this. Next would be any member weekly tournament. First would be Gem Knight. So didn't opt to play Finsmith or Azamina, just played more hand traps with Bell and Eve. Next would be Mermaid Atlantean. 3 small world, oh my goodness, 3 small world on it. Wow, quite bold. Next would be Labyrinth. Bunch of Labyrinths, no? In our report this time. And this time played Rollback. You don't really see that recently. And it is heavy on furniture cards. And moving on next, we do have Duelist Devata tournament. I'm really scared whether I would play this or not. So probably I'm just going to mute this. And we do have Centurion with Milson as the champion. Played Bestial's package on it with Lebellion and the tree of Valdrake, Magnamut, and Druisworm. Next would be Finsmith Primite. They're very creative on using those GIFs on their deck profile featured, no? And yeah, the more I look at this deck list, the more it crazier it gets. It is playing one of Blue Eyes. It is playing two Follows in the main deck, one Talent, one Skill Drain. Oh my goodness. What even is this? Next would be Gem Knights. One Pachi on the main deck. Oh my goodness. Pachi can be really interesting here. Yeah, it could hurt a lot of people. And if they are unprepared with this type of build, they're probably going to lose with Pachi on it. And next would be Inferno Bell. Yeah, with Sinful Spoils, of course, just to utilize the original. Next would be Ragnarok Duelis tournament. First would be Blue Eyes Primite. Two Lancei on the main deck, of course, just to navigate the Orcus matchup better. And next would be Mermail Atlantean from Ragnarok tournament as well. With Waterbury Statue this time, no? I wonder if Konami will address those Pachi on the main deck, Barrier Statues. I'm not really sure if it's healthy at this point. Those are just really roadblocks on this ever-evolving format. Moving on next, we do have Azrak Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. We do have two tournaments on this short, quick tournament from Azrak. First will be Joshua Coriano, my friend from Kaido Willis, and Karsu Elite team from my own team. And he went first on this. It is very controversial that he played two Flawless, one Puruli on the main deck. I'm going to ask him what is his thought process on this. Maybe he just doesn't want the third copy of Flawless. And yeah, Chimera really looks formidable on early January. It is probably a mid B tier or high B on some environments. Next would be Edison Corameng, our friend as well from Kaido Willis Tabletop community. And he also has a YouTube channel specializing on hero content. And he live and die with his deck heroes. He knows what he is doing on this build. And on this build, it is playing the Thunder Giant. A lot of people are asking him what is his aim on playing the Thunder Giant, and he also ran a lot of unconventional hero cards, evil hero cards. Oh my goodness, can't really fathom what goes in his mind playing this type of deck. Only him can answer these unconventional ratios and inclusions on this deck, no? 47 card, imagine that. Yeah, this is really insane. Cannot really stress enough how insane is this. And moving on next, in the Yuking Malaysia tournament, first would be Orcus Finsmith. Pretty standard, just play 3 falls on it. Next would be Blue Eyes Primite. Cold Bio na main deck, wow, interesting. Next would be Dragon Link Tenpai Dragon, what the freak. Yeah, so you have like the Sangen Kaimen, those Tenpai cards when going second. And you could also use those cards to link climb when going first. And next would be Branded 40. Yeah, 40. Not playing 60 without grass. And it's playing Jogen. Yeah, it's playing Jogen. And we do have another Orcus. Yeah, that's the first. And moving on next, we do have Duelist Step and Samarinda tournament in Indonesia. First would be Eric Pendulum Magician. So this got supported, no? From the Luster Pendulum Leaf going to 3. Next would be Wawan White Forest Azamina Finsmith. Yeah, standard. Next would be Abizar Orcus. 2 Crescendo on it. And people are pivoting either 1 or 2. Sometimes it is 1, sometimes it is 2. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really expert on playing Orcus, but I could see that it is better off at 1. And next we have Karim Purely. So it only played 1 trap of Purely. Quite different from the Japanese trend of playing Purely with 3 trap on the main deck. And moving on next, we do have, yeah, that sums up our OCG Metagame report from the last week of December up to the first week of January in C regions. So if you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So once again, thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.